Hello everyone. I haven't uploaded daily lately. Apologize for that, but I will try to get back on track. And today I want to talk about productivity because I feel like it can be something very nice and fulfilling, but it can also be a trap in the long term. At least that's what my experience was for multiple things, and that's something I had to learn. One of the first time I've noticed that is after I started working full time at my new job. I just finished my education and started working as a teacher. First, as a because I didn't initially find like a full time job. I found well technically full time job, but not like a contract that is infinite. So it was just what's the word, like a contract for a specific amount of time. And when I started my new job as a full time job, I spent a lot of time working, like a lot. I was usually getting up, or after a while, I started my 5 a.m. routine. So I started getting up at 5 a.m. So I was in my classroom at 6 a.m. usually, around 6 to 7 a.m. And then I just worked for 11 to 12 hours. I went into the gym if I managed to somehow do. I ate cooked food, and went to sleep. That was more or less 95% of my day-to-day life. Also on the Saturday, like I did the same on the weekends. Saturday morning, got up at 5 a.m. And usually I started with gym and then worked a little bit, or I worked first and then went to the gym. Then I also did like laundry, shopping, groceries for the week, and so on. So my goal was usually to have weekend by Saturday lunchtime or a bit afterwards. Um, and then I just did whatever for like 1 or 2 days. But obviously, I didn't do much during the evening because if I had to get up at 5 a.m. at Saturday and at Sunday, which I wanted to do because I want to have a regular sleep schedule, I'll also go to bed around like 9 to 10, right? And I was doing okay. I was pretty happy during that time, which is also fine. And then I went to like real holidays for the first time. I went surfing for a week after like working like that for like half a year because all the other holidays I was like, I don't really want to go anywhere or do anything because I want to spend my holidays just doing nothing or like pre-working so I have less stress during like actual work time and preparing classes and stuff like that. And during that week of holidays, it felt like I was stuck in a hamster wheel and was just running, 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 and just extremely exhausted. But I never thought about what I was actually doing. And then during that week, when I came back, I was like shocked. It was such a weird experience. I felt like, what am I doing with life, right? Like I was shocked that I didn't even question or think about anything. That was just doing it, but like the time just went by. I'm like, wow, I don't know, already 1.5 years have passed since I graduated and I'm just doing this now, right? But why or what's the point or what do I do for enjoyment? Like almost nothing, right? And another example where that happens to me a lot, funnily, is because I feel like I'm naturally a grinder, as in like I enjoy doing tasks and then like ticking tasks off. I don't know. And so the same thing was for me for a long time in video games, as in like I used to do whatever because like this and this was a mission or whatever, but what everything was done and it was actually time to like just enjoy things. I'm like, well, what do I do now? Like, okay, I just quit because what's the point? Because I'm just here to I guess work, right? And I think it's similar with sometimes for me free times and holidays, or it used to be. I'm like, well, now I have free time, but now what? What do I do with this? Because, well, I don't really know, right? I guess never thought about it too much. And while it's good to have a very strict routine where you're kind of are able to autopilot as a result of if to be more efficient with a few parts, I think it's also very scary that life will just happen and you won't even realize it. And I'm scared of that as well. I think especially if you are either extremely busy, or if you're not necessarily unhappy, then you will just exist and everything just passes. Or at least I think that's like my that might be one danger. I'm sorry. So if you work two jobs and sleep, you will do that, and you like I don't want to say that just do whatever you can if you are not in a position to. I know that like to have some sort of financial freedom, etc., you first of all need to survive, right? Before you can be alive, I guess. And so I know might be different for some people, but I don't know. I at least want to believe that there's always some sort of alternative or solution. As in, like people say, "Oh, I have to go." Like that, well, that's one thing I used to think about. People always said, "Oh, I have to do homework and I have to go to university and I have to do this." I'm like, you realize you're an adult and this is all a choice, right? You could technically have the freedom to just become homeless tomorrow or just take your own life. So don't show up to school and complain and say you're forced to do all of this because yeah, like just what I wanted to say is like take some responsibility and show some gratitude because when I went to school I was like, "Oh, I decided to do that and this is a result of what I at least did." So what's the point of complaining about it, right? Obviously it's okay and necessary to complain, but it's also important to have perspective and to, I don't know, say that okay, at least I can work a job or multiple jobs and earn money, food, and then hopefully have some perspective with time. I don't know. Now that I'm here, I'm like that I'm doing the opposite with my life, what I've done the past half a year because I haven't worked at all. I also don't know what to do, and I also don't feel more fulfilled or satisfied. And actually, my tendency was very obvious when I went to Korea, and after like 2 months, I had a schedule again where like I got up in the morning, I went to the same like cafe to get a healthy, cheap breakfast. I studied for a few hours. I went to cheap meal with people from school. Then I studied in the afternoon, and then I worked out. And it's like I don't know if it's similar for other people or if it's just easy for us because you don't I don't have to think. But it's like having a schedule as I don't know, it's like mixed feelings for me. It's nice, but at the same time, it's scary because suddenly you're like 80 and your life is over, right? Anyway, that was my rant about this topic. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. And if you made it until here in the video, I appreciate you a lot. And I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.